some fun eye makeup looks.
Yay!
So you may or may not know Kim. She does some really amazing articles for us on xoVein, some of which have been like color correcting and like don't care what anyone else says makeup with like black glittery lipstick.
That was a very euphemistic way of putting that.
You know, I try and keep the expletives off of Facebook Live.
But there's also, as we speak, there is a new Kim article up about how to look tan without actually going in the sun or using self-tanner.
I think I need that.
As you can see here, I think we all need it.
It's still early summer.
That's true.
So, Kim, what are you going to do to me and Marcy?
We're going to do bright, colorful, electric eyes. Yay!
So exciting.
So excited.
Cool. So I guess you're going to start on me. And if you just want to walk around through like the colors that you're using or like any fun techniques, because I'm kind of an idiot when it comes to eyeshadow.
Sounds good.
All right.
So I brought all of the colors today. I have my Makeup Forever electric flash palette, which is one of my absolute favorite things in the entire world, and
Also
that's cream-based.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. So I have that as a base, and then we have my Urban Decay electric palette, which if you read my articles, you know I use it a lot, along with my Kat Von D Shade and Light, which I also use a lot.
Which Christina also uses that a lot, right?
Yeah.
So basically, in other words, makeup artists love
Makeup artists love these
that
palettes.
particular palette, yes.
I also have my Anastasia artist palette too, which is a little vintage, but the colors are really nice and bright. And I have the new Kendall Jenner Essay Edit palette too.
Wait, is this the one that goes blacklight?
It is the one that
Oh
goes
my God,
blacklight.
so cool.
Now you could go to a rave after today. Yes. So I'm thinking we're gonna go green on you, just because it's a very easy cop out with the hair. Because as we know or maybe not know, green and red are opposites. So if you use them kind of next to each other, it's going to make them stand out each a little bit more. So we're going to go with the green look. But whenever I'm doing a colorful look, I always start with neutrals first, just because it'll kind of prevent us from going too crazy with our bright colors. We'll be able to blend out and things won't stick too much. We're going to start with some primer too.
I'm so excited.
Now let me ask you, as you're poking at her face.
Tell me.
When you are using a bright green or something like that, how do you decide which kind of neutral? Because, you know, the palette that you have here, the Kat Von D, has some cooler taupey colors. It has some warmer, almost rusty colors. What is the neutral that you would use under a bright green or something like that?
That's a really good point. So I generally go with a cooler neutral if I'm going with a cooler look, or a warmer neutral if I'm going with a cooler look. Something that's not going to detract from the color that we're going to put on. So if I were to put on like a warm shade in the crease and then put on the green, since we know that they're opposites, when you put them on top of each other, they'll neutralize. Cool. That's why they work with color correcting too. So we want to stay away from doing that too much when we're building up the green on the eye.
Makes so much sense.
You know, I try. Then I'll have you tilt this way for me. Perfect. So I'm just using the Urban Decay Eden Primer, and I talk about this one in my article too, because it has a slightly beige nude tone to it, so it's going to give a little bit more of a base. If you have more medium to darker skin and you want to get a really bright base before you put on the brighter color, use the NYX Milk Jumbo Pencil, which is another favorite of makeup artists, not even just on YouTube and Instagram, but also in real life.
I only just noticed that you're wearing like an adorable brush apron.
I am. This is my Morphe brush apron.
Oh my God, stop.
Very QVC. I used to have bright blue hair, so I got a bright blue apron.
That's amazing.
So
This makes you look so legit.
I look very fancy, very official. All right, so we're gonna go in with the neutrals, and I'm gonna start with a base color first. So it's a color that's very close to her skin tone, just a little bit lighter. And I'm gonna put that all over the lid. So I'm gonna take a big fluffy brush. I'm gonna start at the ball of the eye, and I'm gonna go all the way up to the brow bone. Again, I'm just doing a light dusting. It's mostly so those brighter colors don't stick too much to the places where we don't want them to stick.
This feels so good.
It's fancy. You feel like you're at a spa?
I do.
Good. And open for me? Beautiful, yay.
I like how when you say one shade lighter than my skin color, you just mean white.
Just like a white sheet of paper, and then we're good to go. That's what we want. So for the greens on you, I think we're gonna go with a very electric green and not like a snake green, like a bright green.
Awesome.
So I think we're gonna work with these colors right in here. And we're gonna start with the lightest color first. We always wanna start lightest and build up darker, because if we start dark, we have to really work to blend it out. We have to spend a long time blending things. But if we start lightest to darkest, it kind of just magically happens for us. So I'm gonna start with this light lime green here.
Yeah, you guys need to check out Kim's blending tutorial,
Oh my
in
God.
which you will realize you've been doing everything wrong your entire life.
It'll change your life. There are like GIFs in it too, so it's like in motion.
Thanks, guys.
I didn't realize my blending was muddy until I read that article.
It's weird. A lot of
I knew
like
mine was
math and science, like a lot of weird math and science goes into makeup and art, and sometimes you won't notice something until somebody points it out to you, and you're like, oh my god, yeah, that makes so much sense. So I just placed the color down first in the outer corner of the eye. We call that outer V, where the crease of your eye and the lash line kind of meet together. It's like a V shape. And then I'm going to blend with the fluffy side of my brush. And I'm just using my Anastasia brush. It's a double-ended brush that came with my artist palette, which if you read my articles, you know I use this one all the time.
Now, one thing I'm noticing as you're applying it, you are not going in hard on that brush. You are just barely touching her.
Exactly.
And I think that's one of the mistakes I always make, is that I'm just like
up in there.
Yeah. I like to say don't choke Will Ferrell. The metal part of the brush is called a ferrule. So if you hold it up too high, you're going to choke Will Ferrell. You want to hold it back down. So give you like a really light touch. So never choke Will Ferrell when you're doing your makeup. And I'll have you tilt this way for me. Perfect. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. I always do both of my eyes at the exact same time because it makes the symmetry a little bit easier. If I were to do one completely and then go to do the other, I might not remember where I blended that light green, where I blended the dark green, and it'd be a little bit off. I'm doing the same thing. I'm using that smaller, more compact brush, and then switching to the fluffy. The fluffy's kind of like my best friend. He never leaves my hand when I'm doing makeup. I always have my fluffy brush with me. I'm doing my little circles, starting where it's most saturated and going in toward the center of the face. And as I'm doing this look, I'm thinking we might want to actually do a halo Smokey. So I think I'm going to do the same to the inner corner as well. And whenever I'm doing bright colors or even smoky eyes, really dark smoky eyes, I generally do them before I do my foundation or concealer, just because it makes my life easier. I can clean up any fallout without really having to worry, because I do crazy elaborate looks every single morning. I don't have time to spend a lot of time cleaning up things after I make a big mess, so I like to make a big mess.
What are the colors you're wearing right now yourself?
It's like orange and copper.
Yes, I'm wearing these two purple shades in my crease, and then the Anastasia orange shade on my lid, which is one of my absolute faves. I'm doing the same thing here. So I'm basically recreating that same effect I did at the outer corner in the inner corner as well. Then I'm going to blend it out. And the next step gets really, really boring because it's basically just repeating the same thing with darker colors every time, using less and less of it. So I'm going to take a slightly smaller brush. We're going to move on to this green, I think. The reason I'm not using this green yet, I'm probably going to put that on the center of the lid, is because it's really shimmery, it's really metallic. So if I were to put a shiny color in the crease, it'd bring the crease out forward and actually work against her natural bone structure.
So you actually want depth there instead.
Exactly. So by putting the matte in the crease, we're creating that depth. If you're doing this on yourself at home, I highly suggest actually keeping your eye open when you first start adding the colors and looking straight ahead in the mirror as you're applying your makeup, because it'll help you really see where you're placing your shadow. Because sometimes we might place it too high or too low, because it's hard to tell where the colors go when the eyes are closed. Open for me? Yeah, just like that. So I'm just going to keep repeating this step.
It's like I don't understand how people can do cat eyes with their eyes shut. I'm just like, how do you know if things are even?
That's exactly how I feel about it too.
The hardest thing, though, is like you have slightly hooded eyes, I have slightly hooded eyelids.
Yes.
Like the crease is a mystery to me because of the hoodedness.
I 110% agree, and that's why I've had to do it for myself, just looking straight ahead in the mirror, because when you have hooded eyes, or if you have a monolid, it's impossible to see it when your eyes closed. You just can't. So by applying like that base color first, so I really, in theory, would only apply that light green while her eye was open, and then everything else we can kind of detail later on. It's like sketching before we do a painting, basically.
I think that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said about me.
You're like a beautiful Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
I love it. And we're going into this inner corner here. So again, I'm just repeating the same exact thing at this inner corner, and then we'll blend it out.
Kim, where is your accent from?
You know, everybody asks me that. I'm actually from New York City. I was born in Astoria, Queens. I lived in New Jersey for a time that I don't like to talk about. And then I lived in California the past year and a half. So I like to think that my accent is a blend of all of those three things together.
I want to ask where in Jersey you didn't
Because
like
we're
living.
both from Jersey.
Oh, no, I love Jersey. I love Jersey. Just people, when you say you're from Jersey, you know, sometimes people jump on it and they assume a lot of things. You're like, that's not true. It's just easier to just,
I mean, I am a terrible driver, so that's true.
Well, it's okay. Californians are worse. I'm not in California. Californians are way worse. I thought I knew bad driving until I moved to California. I said, nope, nobody's as bad as them.
I don't know. Have you ever driven in Boca Raton, Florida?
I have not.
I have.
They might be the absolute worst then.
No offense to anyone, anywhere, ever.
Yeah, so I'll have you look straight ahead. So this is our second step right now. So we're really creating that depth. We have those darker outer corners, and then we have that like medium green right across the crease. And the last thing I'm gonna add into the outer corners before we move on to other colors is a blue. So blue, even though it's not a shade of green, it's still in that same cool color family. It's my favorite blue in the world. I use this blue for depth a lot. Whenever I'm doing a colorful look and I want the effect of black without using black, I always use this color. Because if you put it on top of an orange, it'll just neutralize it, so it'll kind of look like black. And if you're putting it on top of anything cool, it just adds depth. Yeah.
I feel like I look like Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy.
Oh,
and
yes,
my
that's clearly my favorite.
That's my favorite of the Batman movies.
What?
So, yep. You know what? It is.
No, actually, same. Sorry.
What?
Yeah. I love her.
Because Batman's superpower is capitalism, and at least that movie is fun.
Yeah. True.
I mean,
Good point.
Marcy, what's your favorite Batman movie?
I would have to say that it is whichever the second one was with Danny DeVito and
Oh, the one with the penguin?
yeah,
Yeah,
because
that's a good one.
a lot of people. Let me blow your mind, y'all. This is irrelevant to the situation. But at the beginning, you see the penguin's parents, and they like I don't know, put him in the river like Moses or something. I don't know. But like, if you look carefully, it's Pee-wee. It's Paul Rubens, Pee Wee Herman.
Yes.
And the woman who played Simone in Pee Wee's Big Adventure. and
you kidding
and
me?
I was like, oh, they ended up together and they made the penguin. But yeah, it's not only Paul Rubens, but it's also Simone. And so
Tim
That's
Burton for you.
amazing.
There you go. Amazing.
Man, wow.
yeah,
All right.
Yeah, my mind is actually blown.
It is.
I hope it doesn't interfere with your ability to do makeup.
We'll try. We can only hope it doesn't.
You're going to get like a penguin themed Smokey
Yeah,
eye.
penguin themed smoky eye, some sensible red glitter. It'll be a really good time. And open for me. So it's looking really beautiful on the top, but this is exactly why I like to do the eyes first, because see all this really beautiful fallout?
Yep.
Yummy. I'll take it away. See, it's very punk. I've actually seen some makeup artists do it as an effect.
Okay.
I have a friend, I'm going to butcher her last name, which is really sad because we're both Ukrainian and I should know it. Sofia Strakova. If you can find her on
believe it.
Instagram. She does these looks where she uses a toothbrush and she flicks eyeshadow on people's faces to like create this splatter pattern. It's beautiful. It's amazing.
That's so
Okay.
cool.
Yeah, so she's very rad. Check her out. She's amazing.
Wait, Kim, what's your Instagram?
My Instagram. My Instagram is KCARPLUK. So K, car like you drive a car, pluck like you pluck a chicken without the extra C. That's me.
So is it car pluck?
Car pluck. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's how I've been saying it.
You're amazing.
Sure it wasn't like car pluk.
No, that's actually the Ukrainian way to say it. But
Really?
yeah, I don't go by that. I go by car pluck. But most people call me kerplunk, like the game. Which is
Yeah.
Thank you for being like on point. I appreciate it. Alrighty, so now that we've done that colorful part, I'm just going to use a neutral to balance it out. I was gonna use that light green, but as I'm looking at this, I think it's gonna look too similar to what we have in the crease. So I'm going to use just a neutral on the lid, and I'm gonna put some sensible glitter on top of it.
Sensible glitter.
Glitter is always sensible in my life.
So just to refresh the memories of anybody or to tell your memory for the first time. So the halo smoky eye is actually when there's sort of a lighter color in the center of the lid to give sort of this, I don't know what I guess halo effect.
Yeah.
Pardon my lack of articulation.
It gives like a lot of depth. It almost makes the eye look
Rounder?
rounder,
Yeah.
exactly, and a little bit more sunken in a really beautiful way. So I think like Elsa, like Disney Princess
Okay,
Elsa, 'cause she
yep.
has very rounded eyes. And if you look at the pictures of her too, there's a lot of highlight on the center of the eye, and there's a lot of contour on the outer
So when are
corners.
you going to do an Elsa makeup?
Oh, good question. I've done Snow White before, but not
Oh,
Elsa.
amazing.
Wait a minute. You've done Snow White before?
I've done a Snow
or
White
have
tutorial.
you been Snow White?
Kind of both. I've done a Snow White tutorial because one of my friends gave me a Snow White costume. His name is The Official Ariel on Instagram. If you want to follow him. And he dresses up as Disney princesses, and he's an amazing makeup artist as well. And he gave me a Snow White costume, so I did a tutorial because I'm very pale and look like Snow White.
There you go.
But I was in the past Ursula, which I'll tell you guys, and I don't tell most people. I was in a YouTube video called Disney Villains Musical with a group called AV Bite, which now has like 40 million views. And I was Ursula in it, but you wouldn't be able to tell because I was painted as Ursula.
Yeah.
So nobody ever knows, but
it's you.
now you guys do.
Well, now we look that up.
Now it's me, a little claim to fame.
We have actually had
We'll do a
two
little glitter
previous
on the bottom.
Exo-Vainers do Ursula looks.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, so,
That's so fun.
Kelly did one as sort of like a wearable, like, you know,
Like
how to
every
look
day.
Yeah.
Ursula, if you just sort of feel like it.
want.
And
Which I support.
Tamara, or maybe Tamara, because I should learn how to pronounce my contributors' names. She went as Ursula last year for Halloween, and it was incredible. She went full on purple.
That's
Like the
amazing.
wig was just spot on. So, yeah,
Oh,
look that up.
To look it up too.
that
I
up.
gotta see. Ursula's my favorite. So anytime anybody does anything related to her, I'm like, gotta look it up.
I think my closest to doing like Disney makeup, my boyfriend went as Jon Snow a few years back when he still had like long hair and a man bun, but his hair is like beautiful and like silky smooth and perfectly straight. So it was me with like salt spray and a curling wand for like an hour and a half trying to give him some like Kit Harington curls. It was worth it. I was egret,
Kind
obviously.
of amazing. Obviously.
Yeah, obviously. I had a big white faux fur coat. It was great.
Oh, I love it.
Yep.
I was Snow White for Halloween in second grade.
I
That
think
counts.
Yeah, that counts.
Yeah, it does.
My mom made the costume and everything.
That counts even more then.
Yeah. She's an amazing sewer, seamstress.
Seamstress, yeah.
Yeah.
But she like has a degree in fashion design.
Seamstressing.
And then
Seamstress.
I was born
being a
and
seamstress.
I stole that dream from her, and she
Aw.
got to make Halloween costumes for the rest of her life, including now. She made me a Zool costume
Oh, that's
yeah.
amazing.
like 2 years ago. So, yeah.
I think I'm gonna bully Andrew into being Gaston from The Beauty and the Beast this year,
Yes.
and I will probably be Belle.
But he doesn't have the long hair anymore, does he?
No,
And Gaston is a ponytail wearer.
I think we can make it work.
Okay.
I will write you an Exo-Vain article about giving my boyfriend temporary extensions.
Yes.
Please do.
That sounds amazing.
They make temporary man buns if he misses it enough. They make a. I
I'm
can't
not
think of who.
surprised.
It
Oh,
is
I'm
that makes it,
amazed.
but
It's
they make
definitely like Zara or H&M sold like the like a donut for your man bun.
Sure.
Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, I have the donut.
Yeah.
By the way,
used to just-
tomorrow is National Donut Day.
Is it?
3rd. So no, it's still
Oh.
May.
All right.
So I'm not going to skip entirely over the first 2 days
Will you
of
look
June.
up this
but
guy for me?
I'll bring you guys some donuts.
Some hair donuts.
No, real donuts.
It's National H&M
Hair donut
Day.
That's perfect. It's my favorite holiday.
It's a good one.
So I'm basically doing the same exact thing on the bottom. So what goes up must come down, I like to say. So I'm gonna do that same exact effect. And again, I'm starting with my lighter color and then going darker because I want that same gradient.
I have a burning question for you about this what goes up must come down thing.
Tell me.
Anytime I have tried to essentially do what you're saying should be done, I feel like I get sort of a sunken in look. Or that, I just used concealer to brighten my under eyes.
Yes.
Am I going too far down? Like, what am I doing wrong in that putting a little bit of shading under my lower lash line
I
is
feel
making
this
me
too,
look
and
like a zombie?
I always feel like
Totally.
it's because I have very hooded eyes that I can't do anything underneath, or I just get this whole like sunken thing.
I'm wondering if
happening.
it's because we
But
have
that looks so
smaller
pretty.
eyes.
Yeah. Right? Like you're wearing it now and you look fine. I find that the major reason being is you want to do it proportionate to your eye shape.
Gotcha.
So I really go a little bit heavier on the outer corner and barely like a whisper in the inner corner, because what it'll do is it'll lift up your eye just like a cat eye will without having to do a cat eye basically. I used to wear cat eyes every day since I was 13 years old. That was the first makeup I ever wore. My mom
You
did
brought
it on
back
me.
the trend.
I brought
You
back
brought
the
it
trend.
back.
Yeah,
Exactly.
like
You're
I
welcome.
started
You're
like
welcome.
5 years ago.
You know, yeah, I brought it back. I was like Justin Timberlake. And I had somebody tell me that I didn't have to wear it for my eye shape, and I was like, you're a liar. I do. I was like, I will not look pretty without it. But I learned to do my eyeshadow in a way that creates that same exact effect. So now when I do my makeup, like if you look at mine, I kind of like tilt it up almost like a cat eye shape.
Okay.
So when I clean that bottom, I just pull it up in a line, following my bottom lash line and going straight up, and it creates that cat eye shape without having to do an actual cat eye.
I feel so naked when I don't have a cat eye on.
That's how I used to feel too.
I feel that way too, but I've imposed that on myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 5 years ago, I was more than comfortable not having a cat eye.
Yep.
And now, I don't know. I don't know, guys.
It's like my go-to whenever I don't have time to do my makeup. I'm like, I need to throw something on and look like I spent a lot of time. Because I just look like I spent a lot of time when I spent zero time.
I also notice though, like if I don't do a cat eye for a week, the next time I try and do it, I'm like shaky and everything's uneven and I lose it real fast.
I always say too, I actually may or may not be sending you a liner proposal, but I always do my liner starting outside and going in, which is the opposite of 90% of people.
Yes.
But I'm convinced that's why it's like I always do and it always looks the exact same. Because when you're flicking it out, you don't really have control over where you're putting it.
Right.
But if you place it where you want it, you have that angle no matter what.
Yeah. It's interesting you say that because like the other day, Amber was saying that she switches hands to do her mascara.
Which is insane.
Yeah, to me, I'm like, I couldn't do
I'm like this one and this
like,
one.
it'd be gone, yeah.
But like her Instagram is like Amber Dextrous or something like that. So I'm like, oh, maybe she's
ambidextrous. Yeah.
Maybe she could do both. Yeah.
That's scary. I would ruin everything.
I would too.
Me as well.
If I put mascara in my left hand and tried to do my left eye, I would somehow end up putting mascara on my dog. That's how, like, I can't.
You'd get mascara on Dave.
This is a useless tool.
I would be the exact same. You also have the cutest dog in the world, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with him.
So is Robert Pattinson.
As I can tell,
And FKA
very
twins.
jealous.
We're probably watching this right now, being like, "Remember that woman's dog?"
We know that woman. No, we can track down
If
the
you don't
dog.
follow
Perfect.
my Instagram, my dog met the guy from Twilight, which I've never seen.
I'm gonna do a little concealer.
Okay. I probably need it.
We're gonna do a little concealer, just because whenever we do that bright smoky eye, we want to have a nice bright under eye to contrast too. What sometimes happens is when people say,
concealer
Yeah,
palette.
seriously, that's like too pretty to use.
Yeah, that looks like
Sephora
candy.
collection, Pantone. These ones, I actually have it in 2 colors if you want to.
Is this the darker one?
Mm-hmm. And this is my go-to if you are
Radiant
starting as a
dark.
makeup artist too, and you just need foundations in your kit. This is the best. I actually did Rosie
there's like a
O'Donnell's
bright red in here.
Wait, you did
foundation the other day. No, not her makeup. I did for her Broadway kid. I got to meet her though, which is cool. But she has a foundation called Broadway Kids, which helps kids that like can't afford to do like music lessons or
Foundation
dance
is in a
lessons.
philanthropy, not a makeup foundation.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. As in philanthropy, not makeup foundation. And I help them to do their makeup for their show. And this is the palette that I use on them because I knew I could just bring one thing and be okay.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
But it's just interesting to me that there is a true bright red in here because everyone's been talking about, oh, use a red lipstick under your eye.
Mm-hmm.
But there is, in fact, a bright red in here amongst other tans.
Exactly. And for bright red, that's the reason why it's in that palette. I like to say like the deeper the skin tone, the deeper you want to go with your color corrector as well. So if I used a bright red on me and put my concealer on, you would see the bright red. So it would look bright red, it would look
But you
crease
would
pants.
use like sort of a light peach.
Yeah, like something like this.
Yeah.
Something like that. Because it'll neutralize any light blue underneath the eye.
I'm just gonna take off my lipstick while you're doing this. 'Cause I feel like I've got such a look happening right now.
That's so funny.
It works.
Yeah. So I'm of this theory of like, I'll do bright here and bright here as long as it kind of has like a story. Like if it has a color story. So for me, I'm like, that's totally, I would wear that out. That would be like a wearable look for daytime.
I honestly wear
to go to the
so
office.
little makeup anyways that I'm always like excited to get my makeup done and excited to like wear a ton of it.
Hey, oh, I'm so happy. I once did makeup for somebody who she like never wears makeup, but it was for like some sort of test certification type thing. And I did an eye with a lip she had already had on, and she was like, the makeup made me look like a whore. And I was like, oh, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
I was like,
Also,
no, you actually look really
There's
cool.
nothing wrong with looking like a whore.
Exactly.
Make
That's
a
my
gif of that.
go-to look. That's my go-to day look. So I'm basically just please.
Daytime
me always, yeah. Oh yeah, look how cool it
There you
looks.
go.
So I'm basically just placing the concealer anywhere where I see darkness. So it's generally like in the inner corner of the eye where we all have this like little vein that runs down our eye. So it doesn't matter how much we sleep.
All over my soul.
Get a little all over my soul. If you touch my soul, it'll look like darkness. I'm gonna go on this side here. For my glitter article that I did, I actually put glitter all over my hands to take like 2 pictures. And I was like, this is what my soul looks like, you guys. Touch my soul, it looks like this.
It terrifies me how long that glitter might have been on your hands.
Oh,
Even
it
when
was
you were
everywhere. For the next like 4 days, it was on my hands and everybody else's hands that I did, and faces that I did makeup on. It was a really good time.
Glittered it forward.
Yeah, everybody had it.
Oh, you both have such nice nail polish on right now.
Oh, I have gels. I'm like a bionic woman.
Same.
I don't.
I got them for the first time ever like a month ago.
What?
I haven't gotten them ever.
Yeah, see, it was the same.
Never have.
And then somebody said in the comments that my nails are ratchet. So then I got
Ratchet?
No, that was the
That's
one.
what the young people
that was,
say.
I know. That was the first comment I ever got that was like not as happy. They're like, your nails are not as good. And I was like, no taken. I will get better nails. Thank you. And I did. I got tips and I like them. They look good.
It's totally okay to not have fancy nails.
Well, thank you. I like to think so too.
Yeah.
So I just did a little concealer underneath just to brighten up.
It's so pretty.
I know, I feel really pretty right now.
You don't even see yourself yet. I guess you can see yourself
see
in the
myself
camera.
a little
That's
bit,
true.
yeah.
And
I'm
it's
gonna do
absolutely
a
making
little
the
liner,
whole like complementary hair eye color thing happening.
Oh,
Like,
where it makes my eyes look a little
redder?
like auburn.
Yes.
I love that.
I
Which
love
is my
it too.
best thing. That's my favorite thing in the entire world. I really like contrast. Like that's, if I could do one thing in makeup, it's always like contrast, contrast, contrast. That's what I use in all my looks. I'm gonna use a little eyeliner.
Wait, are you taking eyeliner off of a pencil onto a tiny brush?
I am taking eyeliner off of a pencil onto a tiny brush. It's exactly what I'm doing.
That seems like a fancy makeup artist trick.
It's a very fancy trick. Basically, whenever I want the line to be more diffused and like smoky and not really, really harsh, that's when I go to the brush because it'll like tone it down a bit. Once I put that liner on it, it's pretty much there. It's not really gonna move around. So I'm gonna have you close for me.
It's pencil. It's just a pencil.
Yeah, it's just a pencil. It's the Urban Decay 24/7
It's almost
black
like a gel
waterline.
texture.
Yeah,
Almost.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little bit creamier. Because it's waterproof, I have just a short time to work with it before it dries. So that's why I'm really working just to sketch across. I like to say little dashes between the lashes.
Oh,
so just like
that's
that.
cute.
I love it, like best little phrases.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. I'm very full. I don't know, over time of like teaching things, I used to teach painting class too. So a lot of painting and makeup to me are very similar technique-wise.
Okay.
So little things I would say for my like painting class, I transfer over into my makeup thing. So.
Do you blend like it's your friend?
Oh, I certainly blend. Yes, yeah, exactly. I'd compare things to doing like a liquid liner all the time.
Wow.
Nice.
I'm gonna do the same on the other side here.
Yeah, I doubt we're gonna have time for me to do an eye.
Oh, so sad.
It's okay, guys.
I'm sorry, I got too into the explaining.
No, that's
Okay.
good.
I feel like I have
rather-
learned quite a lot.
Yeah, I'd rather that this was educational than me get a free eyeshadow set.
We could always do it after. It doesn't have to be filmed.
Oh, we will.
Oh, yeah.
Yay!
Oh,
Yeah,
wow,
right?
That's
lovely.
amazing.
Yeah.
Gosh,
So cool. Oh my God. All right. I'm so pumped about this.
you
but-
should definitely sleep in this and just keep
and
wearing
just wake
it tomorrow.
up next tomorrow. Yeah. I'll do some setting spray.
Don't tell anybody I told you that's okay, but do it.
Yep.
Well, I guess we should wrap it up. But thank you so much, Kim.
Yay!
And you can follow Kim on Instagram. It's at kcarpluck. And if you have any questions, please write them in the comments, and I'll get back and answer them for you.
Yeah, and also if I can just say really quickly that if there's anything that you've ever wanted Kim to like write an article about or whatever that you need explaining, I think that she might be willing to do that.
I would love that. Please tell me.
All right. Thank you guys so much. Have an amazing Tuesday.
Thanks, guys.